expression of joy on the face of guys like Parker and Wilson.
The greatest football fans in the world, it's an honor to present the Grey Cup to the British Columbia Lions.
I don't think you realize the impact you have on people, communities. We're in this business all the time, and we just too often take it for granted. And so to us, it's every day. And but then when you go out into a community or you go to a function, and you see the people how they how they respond to you, how they associate with you, it makes you humble in the sense that the BC Lions, somebody's been doing this for 60 years, and hopefully the legacy that we leave is that when we had the responsibility of being the BC Lions, we've done a good job with it.
From its first appearance on the professional field in 1953 to six-time Grey Cup champions, the BC Lions are leaders and heroes of our province, both on and off the field.
The Lions have plowed their way to the 18-yard line, and you're in the violence zone now.
Honoring the past, building the future. BC Lions, 60 seasons of pride. Six decades of greatness has set the stage for today's BC Lions.
Hi, I'm Andrew Harris. I'm the running back for the BC Lions.
Hi, my name is Anton McKenzie, number 42, linebacker for the BC Lions. We practice often. A couple days before a game, we want to get 3 hard, good practices in.
So I come in about a half an hour, 45 minutes early. Usually after the week's game before, I'm pretty sore, and there's little things I want to work on, whether it's getting a massage or some treatment with the trainers or getting stretched out.
We've got to get ourselves in position to block the most dangerous guys.
We're working on different strategies. We're working on different schemes. We're watching our opponent, weaknesses, strengths.
Left leg forward!
After we go through meetings, we get out here and we go through our daily routine with practice.
Nice adjustment.
18-4-10.
Ready, go!
There it is, good job, well done. The camaraderie on the field and off the field is totally crazy. Let's go, defense on 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, don't get sour. On the field, we just as crazy and wild, and that's what brings us together, and that's how you play better.
Lions can be found far away from the official practice field as they reach out into the community and spend time with fans.
A couple years back, I had one kid come up to me, and I guess I had spoke to him a few years before, and a situation came up in his life, and he came up to me, and he wanted to thank me because he remembered what I had told him. And that changed his life. So it means a lot to me. I feel like it's my responsibility to give back and help kids, learn better things.
1, 2, 3. No bullying! There we go, all right.
Good one. Every athlete wants to be a Hall of Fame player, and that's something you strive for. You want to have a 10-year career that's successful. Obviously, there are a lot of personal goals that go along with that. But the biggest thing is just leaving a legacy and being remembered, and that's the biggest thing. You want to be remembered for what you did great.
Legendary player Jim Young was one of the best players the CFL had ever seen. The All-Star, known as Dirty 30, made 522 receptions, 65 receiving touchdowns, and 9,248 receiving yards during his 12 years with the Lions. But it was his determination that won the hearts of fans.
The one thing about Jim Young that impressed me the most when I first met him, he was the star of the team, right? And they talk about tough players, and in those days we used to run and throw the ball. It wasn't just throwing the football, and he had all the passing records. And he played a season with a leather strap around his chest, a leather strap around his arm, and 3 links of chain. The reason being, his shoulder was separated, and he couldn't raise his arm above his shoulder to catch a pass.
I just remember that the dedication of pushing yourself that hard to where you're feeling sick, just to get yourself in tip-top shape for the season. And I'm looking at that, I'm going, okay, I got some work to do if I want to be as good as him.
I had to push myself till I threw up virtually every day. And I knew if I could do that, then the rest would be fairly simple.
It took 21 years for the Lions to win another Grey Cup. The runner-up to the final 1985 game galvanized the province and inspired the players to victory.
So 85 comes around, we're in the Grey Cup again. A very veteran team, but that's getting a little long in the tooth.
Boy, that's a great job of concentration.
That is concentration because it bounced right in his hands.
The last 30 seconds, when we knew that we had won, I turned to my wife. Ran over, gave her a big kiss because we had won. It had taken us years to get there. And it was such a relief, and that's one of the things that we remember as veteran football players. It was relief to win. We expected to win, we wanted to win, and when we won, it was such a great emotional release for us.
As Grey Cup champions, 1985, 37-24, the score for the Lions over the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And after it, Bobby Ackles, after everybody drank from it and handed it around, he gave me the cup. And he said, Alan, you get it to Vancouver. We got on the plane, we flew back with the Booze brothers. We walked, we're deplaning, and I turned to Bobby and I gave him the cup back and I says, okay, Bobby, it's here, you walk it in.
Bobby Ackles' passion for British Columbia was played out during every Lions game. A tireless supporter of the community and die-hard Lions fan from the team's first days, he rose to the ranks to serve as president and CEO until his death on July 6, 2008.
Growing up as a kid, Dad used to tell us his story as to how he became involved with the BC Lions, and you know, he skipped school from King Edward High School to run down to a practice site, and of course I think that was just off of Oak Street at 26th Ave, Braemar Park actually. And Anna Stukas was the head coach back in the day, and Dad would pull on his collar and say, "Hey, Stuk, I'd love to be a ball boy, or I'd love to be able to do anything for the club, and give me a job. Here I am," kind of thing. And he played football at the time, of course, and he had done that a few different occasions. And of course, Stuk said, "Okay, Bobby, why don't you be our first water boy?" So. That's how his career started with the BC Lions Football Club back in 1953.
He was a very quiet man, someone who worked really behind the scenes.
Usually after every game, we played Friday night, and Bob would come in, usually around 8:39, and would sit down, talk a little bit about the game, and just talk generally, nothing too specific. And Bob's comment to me was, Wally, I think we got things such that I can maybe take the weekends off and start enjoying life and enjoying, what I have and stuff. And then, Sunday morning at the office, I got a call that he had passed, right? So, I'm not saying it was prophetic or anything, but, it's to see Bob, the day before, really happy and really looking forward to enjoying life, and then for it to be taken away from him as quickly as it was, makes you realize that wherever you're at and whatever you're doing, you should really enjoy.
I don't think that he ever really thought of himself as the person that would make the big difference. It's a team effort, and that's what the game of football is all about. It's about working together as a team and getting the right people on the team and the right group of characters together to be successful.
Building on Ackles' legacy, Wally Buono is one of the CFL's most successful coaches of all time, taking the team to 9 playoff appearances and 2 Grey Cup championships. In 2012, a new coach took the reins. Mike Benavides' calculated style helped the team go 13-5 during the 2012 season, the most wins by a first-year head coach in team history.
Wally was my coach at first, And you know, I saw that side of Wally. He was the guru, the strong, silent type, and then to have Mike Benavides now, he's that rah-rah guy. He's, you know, it's almost like he's a player sometimes. You know, he's so excited and he's right there with us, and you can talk to him about anything. So there's that comfort level with both of them, but they both have totally different styles. You know, and now that Wally's a GM, you know, he sits up on the top of the roof watching practice, and you know, he's just like he's looking over us and making sure everything's all right.
Wally's the GM now, so he's a guy. He's not really here every day at practice, but he's always watching. He's cool, low-cut guy, keeps quiet, keeps himself, but he has to say something, he will. Benny, he's the rah-rah guy.
We're such micromanagers of our little details because fundamentals and technique and schematics within the warfare of football is such a big deal. Everybody really counts on you. You're the leader. You want to make sure that the vision is clear and the success is what you want.
Daisy,
Every organization has gone through a lot of good and some unpleasant stuff, and you know, for us, I think we have a responsibility to continue that tradition and to continue you know, the process of you know, giving the fans hope and giving the fans something to cheer about.
Over the past 20 years, BC Lions fans have had a lot to cheer about, starting in 1994, when two brothers from opposing sides took the field. Doug Flutie, as quarterback for the Calgary Stampeders, went head-to-head against his BC Lions brother, Darren Flutie.
Temperature is starting to drop.
I remember the West Final in 1994 in Calgary.
It's one of those games where you almost felt like a kid because you knew the weather was cold in Calgary and it was about to snow that day. You didn't know how much snow. And I think it started snowing fairly early in the game, and the snow started covering the field.
So the sweepers are out here for the second straight year in the Western Final.
I was running with the ball and the ball was so cold and I actually fumbled. And Calgary recovered the ball.
Drop the football. Calgary has it. Junior Thurman.
And of course the last drive, you know, the snow is coming down and Danny McManus is in there. The ball was a lot like I'm throwing a brick, you know, and him completing that outstanding reception on the sideline to Darren Flutie and the catch that he came up with, and then...
And what an amazing catch!
I remember the last play that they called was a quick play, and it was a quick protection, so it was a quick drop, and then McManus completing the pass to Darren Flutie in the end zone for the win.
Touchdown Lions! BC's going to the Grey Cup!
And it didn't take long for us to realize we had won, and we're going to be going home to play the Grey Cup in 1994, and everybody started jumping up and down like little kids on the field, guys doing snow angels in the end zone, and in fact, I think the game ended without us kicking the convert because it was such chaos, and we went out there and pretended we kicked the convert just to make it official with nobody there on the field.
Terrific team effort.
One of the biggest games and biggest plays in Lions history is that Danny Mac to Darren Flutie touchdown.
With the Stamps win behind them, the Lions became Canada's team. 1994 was the first Grey Cup to feature an American rival.
2nd and 2. Good hit.
Well, the Grey Cup game in 1994 was awesome. It was one of those things where we came together as a family. Our whole team decided that, you know what, we were going to play together as Canadians, because back then in '94, Baltimore didn't have the ruling, so they didn't have to have Canadians. They played with all Americans. So we decided that day we were all going to be Canadians, and we were going to go out and we were going to win it for Canada.
And with about 30 seconds to go in the game, you could hear the crowd. I could hear the crowd, you know, chanting your name, the Lou chant going on the sidelines, and I was trying the best I could to concentrate on what I had to do. And even though I heard that on the sidelines, once I crossed onto the field, it was like, to me, it was dead silence, and just focused on, hey, I'm going to make this field goal, and we're going to win the championship. And you know, the snap from center was perfect. The hold by Darren Flutie was perfect, and the ball went down the middle, and we were champions.
Well, the emotions of watching that ball go up and the 1 second on the clock tick off, I think tears came to our eyes. you know, it was one of those things that we have been working so hard for. It was our destiny as players. We had went through ups and downs off the field and on the field. We started off the season losing a lot of games. So, you know, when you turn around and can go and play that kind of game and then come back and win it at a field goal and have a guy like Louis Ackles to kick the winning field goal for you, it was just great. You know, like I say, the tears was everywhere.
From coast to coast, we welcome you back to McMahon Stadium in beautiful...
A hometown hero and all-star kicker, Louis Passaglia's last season went all the way to the Grey Cup as the Lions took the field against Montreal.
That was the toughest week probably in my career, because it was hard to focus during practice during the week, because you were taking everything in. You know, all the players, you're thinking all those thoughts of all the players you played with, the players that you're playing with now, and knowing you had to go out there and hopefully you'd help your team win and not go out on a high rather than on a low.
85 seconds away from a Hollywood ending.
When that final whistle went, it was a happy moment and a sad moment at the same time, because you knew it was over, but you also knew that you shared a championship with some great guys in that field. And
from underdogs to Lion Kings, the BC Lions are Grey Cup champions.
And I had my family in the stands, and we were there from day one, and they were watching, and I think they were proud of our team and of me and my career. And I think the toughest part was leaving the dressing room at the end of the night, because I think I was one of the last to go. And it's hard taking the shoulder pads off, but I took them off and took them home. It was tough leaving, but a happy way to leave.
And the winning points were provided by Louis Passaglia.
2011 marked Wally Buono's last Grey Cup as head coach. Travis Lulay was quarterback.
Finally coming out of that tunnel and looking around, it was like a dream. It was a surreal experience. The biggest things I remember from 2011 is about Wally, specifically during Grey Cup week, was his confidence. He was so confident in us winning that football game. I remember in our pregame, or maybe it was the day before the game, he's addressing the team and saying, "Okay, guys, you know, when we win this game, we're going to try to get a shot on the field with all the players." So he's just talking like openly, like we knew we were going to win this football game. And I think that confidence really rubbed off on the team, and that's a big reason we all believed that we were going to find a way to get it done.
He'll go out into the pattern. Lulay throwing deep downfield for Johnson behind coverage. Makes the catch at the 20. Makes the tackle. He's gone. Touchdown Lions.
You know, I didn't sense any pressure. I didn't. It was kind of like, you know, I'm just coming to enjoy the game.
And the BC Lions have brought it home. They're the 2011 Grey Cup champions.
Over the past 60 years, great plays and legendary players have built BC's team.
I don't want to take a minute of this for granted. I know, you know, this BC Lions thing, it's bigger than me. The CFL's bigger than me, and someday somebody else is going to be playing. So I just want to enjoy every moment of it while I'm here, and you know, pay respect to the guys who have been in this seat before me.
I certainly see it as a blessing and a tremendous privilege, and as I tell the guys all the time, we owe the people that came before us to represent the team, the organization, the city, the province in a very respectful way.
It's a part of my life. It's not everything in my life, but it's a significant portion of my life. And to be part of that history, you can't replace that.
This organization, to me, it started when I was 5, 6 years old, when my dad brought me to a game, and I used to listen to them on the radio going to bed, and as most kids do in whatever sport they like, they always think that one day it might be me playing there, and it was me. So you couldn't ask for anything more.
The BC Lions, a team rooted in tradition, community, and a winning spirit.